Hi there, I'm Marcia Goddard, a neuroscientist, and I'm on the advisory board of Equalture. In this video, I want to take you through some of the benefits of game-based assessments versus more traditional assessments. Let's have a look at traditional assessments first. When it comes to measuring cognitive ability, there are tests like number sequences, figure sequences, and spatial reasoning. For measuring behavior, there are situational judgment tasks, and to measure personality, there are personality questionnaires. Now, all of these traditional tests have certain problems associated with them. The first is that usually the candidate experience is pretty horrible because they are very long, quite boring, tedious, and very formal, which leads to a candidate experience that is far from what you would want as an organization. The second problem is that quite often these tests are riddled with Western-oriented cultural biases. So for example, on personality questionnaires, quite often extroversion is seen as something that is good to have on the work floor, when in non-Western cultures, introversion is more valued, meaning you might inadvertently exclude people who are from non-Western cultures. The third problem is that they aren't neuro-inclusive, meaning people who are neurodivergent, for example, people with autism, people with ADHD, might score lower on the test because of the format and the content of the test. An example of this would be a misinterpretation of questions on a personality questionnaire. Another problem is that there are actual training manuals available online, allowing you to prepare for your assessment, which obviously isn't what you want when you're giving a candidate an assessment, because you want their true performance. And the last problem, specifically for situational judgment tasks and for questionnaires, is that they invite social desirability. When people answer these questions, they don't answer them the way they think it needs to be done. They answer it the way they think you want it to be done, which leads to non-natural behaviors and irrelevant results. The reason we use game-based assessments at Equalture is that game-based assessments are able to overcome some of the problems that are associated with traditional assessments. So let me take you through the benefits of game-based assessment. Firstly, game-based assessments are immersive and engaging, leading to a top-notch candidate experience. One of the core elements of gamification is that they trigger our dopamine system. Dopamine is what gets us motivated, which is exactly what you want when you're assessing a candidate's potential. The second benefit is that they are culture inclusive. Our assessment games are not geared towards any particular culture. The third benefit is that they are neuro-inclusive. We've shown that neurodivergent individuals have just as much opportunity to shine as any neurotypical individual, and neurodivergent people actually report a very positive assessment experience when finishing our assessments. What's also incredibly important is that you can't prepare for our assessments the way you could for a traditional assessment. There are no manuals available online for you to use in preparation. Another benefit of game-based assessment is that they trigger natural behavior because of how engaging they are. When you are truly immersed in a game, it allows you to show your true potential. Another benefit, they reduce social desirability to be virtually non-existent. There's really no way to present yourself in any particular way when you're doing a game-based assessment. All you can do is just finish the game to the best of your abilities. And lastly, game-based assessments are proven to measure both learning ability, how well you can learn, as well as learning agility, how fast you can learn. I want to address some of the fears that organizations may have when it comes to using game-based assessment. The first one is related to age. We've actually proven that our assessment games are inclusive for all age groups, meaning they can be used at any seniority level. Secondly, gamers do not have an advantage over non-gamers when it comes to being successful on the assessments. And lastly, our games are reliable as they go through a very, very extensive, rigorous, and continuous process of scientific validation. Now, all of these benefits put together are the reason why we've chosen game-based assessments to help you make better hiring decisions and have a more fair hiring process.